Respected fellow practitioners and guests, in the last talk we were speaking of the 6 paramitas which Bodhisattvas practice. We will conclude with the remaining 3 paramitas today. The first of these is diligence. We need to be diligent in everything we do. We need to accept our responsibilities and do our best to meet those responsibilities. We have discussed according, going along with proper conditions, not insisting that others have to do things our way. But we have said, when we go along with conditions, we go along with those that are proper. And this is one of the reasons we need wisdom, another of the paramitas, because we need to be able to discern what is proper and what is improper. When we have decided that something is proper and we are to do it, we should not be deterred when things go against us. We should be determined that if something is right, then it needs to be done to the best of our abilities. If we lack diligence, then as soon as something goes wrong, we will give up and say it's too difficult. We have a habit of doing this. If we were very diligent in our practice, then we more than likely would not be here today. We have not been diligent in our past lifetimes, not as diligent as we needed to be. When we encounter problems, we need to understand why we are. Everything that is happening to us is the result of what we created in the past. So the difficulties that we encounter now are simply the result of what we have done. Understanding this, we will not blame some outside force, saying it is the will of the heavens, and then give up. We understand, we destined it. We set things into action by what we have done. But how we react to them is entirely up to us. Some people who do not understand say that Buddhism is very pessimistic because we say there is much evil in this world. Buddhism is neither pessimistic nor optimistic. Buddhism is realistic. We understand why things. Understanding, we use our judgment and our wisdom to determine what is the proper way to behave, and then we do so. In our practice, very often when we start our cultivation, we will begin to encounter many difficulties, many obstacles. Often these are brought about by our karmic creditors. These are beings that we owe debts to from our past lifetimes. If they think there is the possibility that we may achieve attainment in this lifetime. They know they will lose their opportunity for revenge. They will do whatever they can to cause difficulties for us. What we can do in our practice is to dedicate the merits from what we do, from our reciting the sutra, a Buddha's name, mantras, whatever our practice is. We dedicate the merits to those karmic creditors, to all beings in suffering. We ask the karmic creditors to please allow us to progress in our cultivation, that we will continue to dedicate the merits on their behalf, and that doing this, they will benefit greatly, much more than if they merely return the revenge, that if they merely get the revenge they are seeking. We tell them we will dedicate merits on their behalf. As we continue in our cultivation, as we try to move on, we can also encounter obstacles. This is perfectly normal. It is said, in the first year of our practice, the Buddha is right in front of us. In the second year, he has moved into the distance. And in the third year, he is like a cloud in the sky. We need to maintain the level of diligence that we had when we first began our practice, when we were very enthusiastic. We were enthusiastic and diligent when we knew almost nothing. Now, knowing, understanding so much more, there is much more reason for us to be able to be more diligent. And we need to be diligent as well in everything we do. We were discussing patience yesterday. Nothing is attained without patience and without diligence. At work, if we give up at the least difficulty, we will accomplish nothing. There needs to be a balance here. The balance needs to be between diligence and according. And we need to know what the differences are. We accord with others. When everybody wants to do something, and what they are doing is correct, we accord with them. To be diligent is to take on our responsibilities, to be determined to do something. In our determination, in our diligence, we are not attached. We need to understand all the very subtle differences here. A way to do this is to understand flexibility. We are not inflexible. We do not insist that things have to be done our way. When we insist things have to be done our way, we insist that others do them. Diligence is more internal. We ourselves are diligent in what we do. We do not give up.